Hey guys, so today's tutorial is pretty simple and easy to do. Very warm tones, so if you like warm tones, I got you. This video is just for you. But I also wanted to do some more looks with the Jaclyn Hill palette because honestly this has been my go-to palette if I'm going to do eyeshadows. This is what I've been reaching for since I got it in the mail. And also it's something that has been requested from some of the viewers here on the channel. They want to see more looks with this, so that's why I'm using it again. I know I've used this in a few videos, but it is actually a very good palette and worth every single penny. And I think it's better quality than some of the other Morphe products that I have tried in the past. And this is one that I would recommend. And they are, I think they've done a few restocks. So if it's not available right now, don't worry, it will come back. The colors that I'm using are very warm tone shades, but honestly you can find some colors out there that are similar. You may even already have colors that are almost exactly the same as these in your collection, so just use what you have. Or if you want to go out and buy some colors, you know, we're using some kind of warm tones in the crease and kind of like a bronzy rose gold on the lid. Really, really easy, but it does pack that impact with that warmth. And I thought, why not do some warm colors? I love the way warm tones play off with blues, and I'm wearing this vest, which, by the way, it's freaking awesome. I got it at Sam's Club for like $12.50. I buy most of my clothes from Sam's Club now, but it has a button here where you can actually undo this button, and there's another button in here, so it kind of buttons inside. Then when you undo the buttons, it becomes a very loose sort of cardigan. And I just have a camisole underneath that I've had for years. It's actually quite faded, but anywho, and it becomes a very loose cardigan that you can wear with jeans or with some leggings. I have it with a camisole underneath because it is hot and humid and sticky here in Tennessee, and I'm just counting down my last few days before I go to cooler weather in Colorado. And then you can kind of do the button back up under the shoulder part, and then you can take this side and button this over here like so, and then it has that sort of scoop. So the model in the picture that was attached to the tags had it with like a 3/4 sleeve length or long sleeve, which I can do in Colorado because the weather will be cooler there when I get there. But this is so freaking cool and it's comfortable. I just love it. So if you have a Sam's Club membership, check out your local Sam's Club for this. And no, I'm not affiliated with Sam's Club. I wish, because I freaking go there so often. Let me button this sucker back up. Oh, and check out my little bitty ponytail, you guys. Look at this. I'm finally able to use some hair ties to put my hair up in a ponytail. So freaking tiny. I can't bring it up any higher because then the short layers will come undone. But so cute. It's super hot. So anyways, rambling too much. Let's just get into the video. So I'm going to just kind of stick to what is sort of natural and organic as far as what I've been currently using. So I'm going to go in with the some of the lighter shades. And I'm going to start with the shade called Silk Cream. And it's this shade right here. So if you don't have this palette, that's totally fine. All you need is a very light tan shade that is not too cool or too warm to use as a transition. That's going to help you with blending when you get to the darker colors. So that's what we're going to go for. So I am going to use the Morphe M441, which is a big fluffy crease brush, and I'm just going to add that to my crease. I'm not being too careful with it. And I'm bringing this into my natural crease and also a little bit higher as well. Alright, to deepen up the crease, I'm going to use the Morphe M433 brush, which is a good brush to have for adding some color, also for blending and packing on eyeshadow. It's not too wide. As you can see, hopefully it's not too wide. It's fluffy enough, and it picks up just enough color and pigment. So the next shade that I'm going to use is, let's see, what do I want to do? Let's go in with the shade called Butter, because I always go with Pooter, and I'll show you what Pooter looks like. This is Butter here, so it's a little bit warmer. And then this is Pooter. As you can probably tell, I always go for that one. And that always ends up being one of my transition shades or crease colors as well, because it works with literally everything that's in this palette. But I'm going to go with this one because I have yet to use this shade here. And that's going to go right into my natural crease. I'm going to turn my brush to the side and blend everything out. And then I'm going to go in with back in with the Morphe M441 that I used for my transition shade and just kind of blend everything out so it looks nice and smooth. Now the only thing that this palette is, I would say, missing is a very light matte color, but I can see why it wasn't added because it wouldn't work with every single skin tone that's out there. So I'm going to pull in a matte color that matches my skin tone to clean around the edges before I get a little too heavy-handed, because I tend to do that. And for that, I'm going to go in with my Sonia Kashuk palette. I love this palette. It's so great for the affordability of it, the color range that there is in there. So I'm going to go in with this color and a touch of the white to kind of get my skin tone. And I'm using a MAC 239 brush. And I'm going to go right under the brow bone. For now, that's going to be my highlight. Alright, so moving on, I'm going to stick with the Morphe M433 brush. I keep saying M441. I always mix them up, the numbers, but the M433. I'm going to use the shade called Roxanne, and I'm looking over onto the cards. It's the fourth color in the third row, if you're following along. And this is a very warm tone color, and that's what it looks like there. So I'm going to apply most of that on this outer part of the eye, and then I'm going to gently and very softly, with just the lightest amount of pressure, bringing that into my crease. But I do want to keep most of it on this outer part. And I'm barely touching my skin with the bristles, very, very lightly. And then I'm going to go in with a more tapered crease brush. This is the one that I've been using to add the color. As you can see, it's very different. The bristles are a little bit longer and there's more of a point here. This is the Blend eyeshadow brush or crease brush from Equal Tools. I don't know if they still make these double-ended like this. They did repackage their products, so if you can find a brush that looks kind of like this, this will work really great as well. And I'm going to be able to take that color, the Roxanne, right into the natural crease area. I'm going to start kind of building that up a little bit, taking a little bit at a time, and darkening this up. And then with a smaller brush, I'm going to take that same Roxanne color and I'm going to swing down to the lower lash line and just connect the lower lashes up to that crease area. This outer V, I should say, not to the crease area. To the outer V of the eye. And then with a MAC 219 brush, which is a pencil brush, I'm going to go around the edges of that and soften that so it's not quite as harsh. And it's going to look a little bit more intense because of the type of brush. As you can see, it looks like two different shades, but it's the same one. And it's actually really, really pretty. And then what I did was I lightly tapered in that color. I didn't bring it in all the way, just kind of taper it in so it kind of blends in and becomes sort of nothingness to the inner corner, because this color is quite dark, and if you put too much darkness in the inner corner, it can kind of close off the eye. I don't know about you, but I am picking up some fall vibes with this kind of look. These are definitely my colors, and these are very fall appropriate. Now what I want to do is add just a little bit of dark brown to the lower lashes. I'm going to add my lid color first and then see if I want to go any darker, because I'm really liking the way this looks. It's very warm and very me. So I could definitely stop here and do the liner and keep it just an all matte look. But I'm going to use the same little detail brush that I always use, and this is a very old brush. It's the Ultra Professional, but this is like, I don't know, maybe 9 years old. It's so freaking old, this brush isn't even funny. Okay, so I think I'm going to go in with the shade called Mocha, which is this shade right here. Where am I? Okay, here. Can you see this shade here? It's called Mocha. It's a really pretty kind of warm brown. Do a sort of stamping motion right there. And I like to do this a lot because I don't actually put tons of liners on my waterline. So to create some darkness, I use eyeshadow. And I get right at the root of the lash, right where it meets up to the waterline without actually getting it into my eye, which sometimes can be a little bit tricky here. But this does add some darkness and it makes it kind of smoky without being too dark on the waterline. And then with this big fluffy brush that I use for the crease, I'm going to just kind of look up and add a little bit more depth and kind of diffuse those edges. There you go. Okay, so for my lid, honestly, you could do any of the colors in this palette. You can do the lighter shades, the top two in light or beam. You could even do some of the light pink, like Faint, or even Sissy, Little Lady is also really pretty. And those, I'll show you what those look like. So you can do any of these lighter ones, or any of these sort of pinky tones as well. I love this one here. And that one is called Sissy, and it's kind of like a duochrome. Or you can do some of these. Now this one is really pretty here, and also these ones, and I'll swatch them both for you so you can see how pretty those are. And I really like this sort of color here with these. What do you think? Maybe this in the inner corner? Let's do it. Let's go for it. I've got the Sonia Kashuk number 106 brush, which looks like this. I love this type of brush for packing on color. And I'm going to go in with SBN, which is the one that is kind of bronzy and kind of rosy too. And I'm going to tap off the excess because I feel like that's going to have some fallout. And I'm going to put this onto my lid. And just pat, pat, pat first. All the way over the lid. And I'm not going to go to this outer edge here. Oh yeah. That's so pretty. Gosh, I love this palette. See? All the colors are just perfect. Okay, now for the inner corner, I'm going to take a clean pencil brush and I'm going to use the Obsessed, which is the lighter of the two shades that I showed you earlier. So this one here, it's kind of, looks like that. It's kind of like a, let me see, how can I describe this? I'm the worst at describing color because it's kind of like a pinky champagne. It reminds me of Stila's Kitten eyeshadow, but maybe not as pink. I could be totally wrong there, but we're going to use that on the inner corner. And I'm using a Sigma E30 pencil brush for that. For liner, I'm going to use the Maybelline Curvy liquid liner, and this is in the black shade. Very, very good liner. And I'm just going to line my upper lash line as I normally do. Nothing fancy. No wing this time because literally that wing took me like 2 days to do. So I'm just going to do the liner as I know I can do, confidently. Now, time for some mascara. Do I even need to tell you guys what I'm using? I'll just show it to you. I have to, you guys. It's like the best. Alright guys, so that completes today's tutorial. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I actually really love these sort of tones. They're very me tones, so I will be wearing a lot of warm tones on this channel. I just love it. That palette is really great. Everything just works so well together, and every color is very complementary to each other, which I like palettes like that because it's just easy. And even though this look has, you know, different steps, it's something that can be done right before going to work or going to school if you go to college, or, you know, just anywhere. If you're going to an interview, date night, it's not something that's too dramatic and over the top, because you guys know I like to do things more on the natural side. It's just my personal preference, and that's kind of where I'm taking this channel, the natural sort of aspect of makeup. Stuff that can actually be recreated by the average everyday person, and not something that's so dramatic and so labor intensive that nobody has the time for that in the morning. So I hope that you found this video easy to follow along and that you will recreate this yourself. For the rest of my face, I am testing out a new foundation. Yes, I am trying a liquid foundation. Write this day down. But, you know, in all honesty, this probably isn't a surprise to those of you who know that I like Bare Minerals and the minerals from that brand as far as the foundation. That's what I use when I use foundation types of products. So when I saw the Bare Pro, I definitely have to scoop it up. So that's what I'm wearing. I will be doing a separate video on that. I am sort of testing it out. All I have is just a little bit of the Bare Minerals Warmth, which is an all-over face color that I use sort of to kind of bronze, and a little bit on the cheeks. I don't want to overload my face with tons of product that are matte finishes because that can sort of change the way my skin works with this foundation. So for that reason, I skipped the blush, but I don't think that it's actually absolutely necessary to do the blush. I think it's fine the way it is like this. The lip color is what I've been wearing throughout the entire video. That is the Clinique and Jason, I always say Jason, but the Clinique and Jonathan Adler lipstick. These are the Clinique Pop lip colors in the shade number 04 Beige Pop. I love this color. It's the perfect everyday color. It's supposed to be lip color and primer in one. I like the packaging. I like the little sort of blue gem color that's on the top. It's very nice, very geometric sort of design on the lipstick bullet. So very nice and very comfortable on the lips. And that is it. So I'll have everything listed down below that I use for the eyes, for the face, and lips. Thank you so much for spending some of your day here with me. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And if you are a subscriber, thank you so much for your love and support. It means more than you'll ever know. And if you want to follow me off camera, I will put my social media accounts down below, and I will see you guys there. Take care. Bye-bye.